What's up, anal analysts? I'm McStud.
And I'm Mrs. McStud.
And welcome
Anal analyst.
to the McStud Show. Do you know what an anal analyst is?
Is that somebody that studies butts?
Pretty much you analyze the anus. Or you analyze anals.
Oof.
I guess. Would that make you a proctologist?
I'm not real sure.
I don't know if proctologists are analysts. I mean, I'm sure they've got to analyze what they see on the anus. But that just seems kind of weird, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Do you remember that one time you analyzed my anus?
No, we don't do that.
You sure?
Yeah, yes.
Because here's the little background of this. We were sitting there watching Matlock one night, and I walked to the kitchen, and I had to bend down to get my shoes, and the back of my shorts fell down, and I was commandoing it that day. So my butt cheeks were open and spread, and she's just over there looking like, what's that one, we're talking about sculptures, what's that, the Thinker. She looked like the Thinker.
The philosopher?
No, that sculpture, that statue, the Thinker.
Yeah.
Looked like that, just looking over at my butthole.
Oof.
And I was like, baby, you can't analyze my anus. And she's like, sometimes it do what it do.
FFS.
Just kidding.
There's several things that's false about that story.
That's a true story.
We never watched Matlock, number one.
How can you even say that?
First off.
How can you even say that with a straight face? That theme song.
I don't even know if I've ever seen or anything. I didn't know the theme song.
Matlock? Your parents never watched Matlock?
Maybe.
Your grandparents? Maybe? My grandma loves some Matlock. Like
Well, I bet she
that
did.
was like a that was like a nightly thing in our house. There was Matlock, In the Heat of the Night, Little House on the Prairie.
Yes.
That was definitely on.
I knew that.
I believe on occasion they watched a lot of Jeopardy. Back in the day. What?
I was trying to look at your bottle.
What's wrong with it?
Nothing.
You sure?
I just thought it looked different.
Oh, no. It didn't. What else was a staple in our house? During the day?
Full House.
No. That was more a kid thing. I don't really think they got in a Full House. Now, Fridays, they liked...
Tim the Tool Man.
They didn't really get...
Home
My cousins liked Home Improvement. My grandparents didn't. Now, when I was young, back when Family Matters was on,
Yes.
they did watch that every week.
And Urkel.
That is Family Matters.
Oh, it is?
Yes. That's what the show's called, Family Matters.
I thought it was Urkel.
Sometimes you just got to take a deep breath and reflect on the woman you're with.
You know what?
What?
I have to do that to stop myself a lot of times.
What?
Just take a big deep breath and be like, Leslie, you're an idiot.
You are not an idiot, but I just had to give you a hard time.
Sometimes I talk that way to myself at work. Like, what are you doing, Leslie?
Hey, you know what else is on? On Sundays?
Ash.
Yeah, I think my grandpa used to watch that because he was...
Andy Griffith.
No, we didn't have Andy Griffith.
What?
No. That might have been on TV. I think that was like a weekend thing, if I ever seen it on TV. But every Sunday, America's Funniest Home Videos with Bob Saget.
Yep.
That was always a thing.
Faggot.
Bob Saget.
That's what I thought it was, for real.
Yeah, a lot of people referred to him as that, and if you didn't know any different.
You might. No, I thought that's what they said when the show started.
Yeah.
Because I one time told my mom, Mom, can we watch that show with Bob Faggot? And she's like, what?
Yeah, no. It doesn't work that way. That was on every Sunday. Trying to think. But you had Andy Griffith.
Yes.
A lot of Andy Griffith. What other shows was like a cornerstone in your house?
Home Improvement.
Home Improvement. My mom got no Home Improvement. This is after I left my grandparents' house.
Family Matters. They definitely watch Family Matters.
Uh-huh. You know what my mom still watches to this day?
What?
CSI. That's been on forever, too.
I think my parents, don't quote me, but they might have watched some 90210.
Oh, really? That was more like a teenage show.
I can't recall.
I was a little young. My older cousins watched that. And I was like, this is stupid. I was too young for that shit. And I still, to this day, even when I became a teenager, didn't like it. Because then they came out with like Dawson's Creek and Melrose Place and shit like that.
Oh my God! When I was getting my nails done today, they only play musicals. Like there's no words.
Instrumental music, yes.
And the Titanic song came on.
Wow, did it make you think of the casino?
It did. Oh my God, what was that song that played right before that? Because I was singing to both of them.
Of course you were.
I was. I can't remember.
Oh, funny story about Miss McStud getting her nails done today.
I didn't do nothing today.
What did the lady ask you while you were waiting?
Oh my God. She wanted to dye my eyebrows. She's like, I can make your eyebrows darker. Why do they need to be darker?
Yeah, I like your eyebrows.
I'm not trying to look like I got them penciled on.
Yeah, I don't like the fake look of eyebrows.
Yeah, I said, if I go home and my fucking eyebrows dyed, what would my fiance say? And she had to give me this whole lecture. I think she's the owner. One of the owners, the one that does my nails all the time. Uh-huh. She goes, we only recommend stuff to make you look better, or to not look better, to be presentable.
So was she saying you weren't presentable?
And well, she's Chinese. I mean, fuck, she's fucking hard as hell.
Probably didn't have the right words.
Yeah, and she said, you know, we don't just recommend stuff for money. Mm-hmm. Saying, yeah, what the fuck?
No,
because I only spent $110 today in there.
Now, let's not get it wrong. I would not be mad if you came home with your eyebrows done. If that's what you wanted to do, that made you happy, I support that. I'm not the kind of person that flips out like, what the fuck did you do to your hair? What the fuck did you do to your eyebrows?
You would definitely look at my eyebrows and say, what the fuck?
No, I'd be like...
Because I would look in the mirror and go, what the fuck?
The only reason I would say anything about your eyebrows is because I could never see you doing that. No, that's just not you. Like, I know you well enough, so if you got your eyebrows done, I'm like, what made you want to get your eyebrows done? Because I can't see you ever saying, man, I just need to get these
I thought about...
darkened.
I mean, I did think about getting them waxed some, you know, at some points.
Yeah.
I think about it, but never darkened.
Yeah. I guess it's something
my hair's fucking going gray anyway, so you want to darken my fucking eyebrows for what? It ain't gonna match my hair, it's gray.
But I mean, it's just something I couldn't see you doing, so that'd be the only reason I'd question it. I'm like, what changed? What did you get this wild hair up your ass?
Going through a midlife crisis.
Like, oh, Miss McStud's got her eyebrows done. That's new. Who's that for?
Doubt nobody.
Just I would never.
Oh, on a side note. Mm-hmm. You know how we were supposed to go do shit? That was the dogs. How we were supposed to go do shit on May the 14th at work.
Oh, yeah?
Well, we were going to the track. Mm-hmm. And today they capped it.
Oh, the pop.
At 40%. Mm-hmm. And they canceled a whole lot of the events that we were going to do.
Oh, ain't that a bitch?
So she had to reach back out. I don't even think we're supposed to know. Jennifer can't keep her mouth shut, so we know everything. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
So no track?
I'm not sure. The owner emailed and asked if, you know, if we're still going to be allowed to go do that stuff or what. Because they've sold 170,000 tickets to the track for this year's race. Mm-hmm. And then they came today and said there's only allowed to be 135,000 people and there's no pre-sales allowed. So I'm assuming they're having to refund everybody and everybody has to stand in line. It's first come, first serve.
Wow.
There'll be motherfuckers camping out there.
When did they have the Indy 500 this past year? Because I know everything was fucked up because of COVID. Wasn't it really late?
They switched the date of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel
it's usually Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, which is coming up.
I want to say that they did it in June or July this last year. And there was nobody there. Yeah,
I remember we watched it.
Yeah.
Because they actually aired it on TV. They stopped the blackout because of COVID for the first time ever. Because heaven forbid the Indy 500 has a sellout. Right. Even though it's fucking packed full of people every year.
Yeah, but do you know how many people can fit in that place?
No.
400,000.
Really?
400,000 people. That's including the pits, all the fucking grandstands and the pits. And yeah, 400,000 people.
I never knew
They
that.
maxed it at 135,000. But they had already sold 170,000 tickets.
I didn't know it could fit that many people.
400,000.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And they're recommending everybody be vaccinated. It's not mandated for you to be able to go to the race, but they're recommending everybody be vaccinated. So what they're doing is they're holding big ass clinics, COVID clinics up there, vaccinating people at the track.
Yeah, they've been doing that because they were doing the Johnson & Johnson one, and then they had to switch off to a different one. And I read that the people, it had dropped off a lot because of the different one, because they wanted the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, which is, yeah, it is what it is.
So,
yeah, I never knew it could fit that many motherfuckers. That's bigger than a lot of cities. That's crazy.
A lot of people just come to go to that.
That's a lot of people. I remember when I met you up there. Like, I had never been up there for that time. It was nighttime. It wasn't even like.
It's fucking huge.
It was like ridiculously crazy.
Yeah, and people. It's huge.
Yeah.
Like I used to know.
That was like a. Never.
Oh, I still have the article up.
Oh.
Yeah. The Speedway is the largest sporting facility in the world with more than 250,000 grandstands and the ability to host close to 400,000 on race day. Through the entire property.
That's just inside the track, right?
It says through the entire property, yeah.
I was going to say, does that count all the people out in their trailers and shit?
I don't believe so.
Jesus Christ, that's a lot of fucking... I never realized that many people could be there. Or in the general area, like, or around it, like that.
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts.
It is.
Jesus Christ.
But what was I looking at?
I don't know.
Oh, I want to know how many miles. How many miles around is Indianapolis?
You don't know the miles?
I can't remember.
Isn't that a 2-mile track?
I don't think so.
Really? Miss Race over here doesn't know how long the
Sorry, I forget.
IMS is. I thought it was a 2-mile track.
Oh, it's just over 2.5.
2.5. Okay, so I was close.
It's 2.605.
Oh, damn. So it's bigger than I thought. I thought it was a 2-mile track.
Yeah.
But I'm not the race fan.
Like, this is the aerial view of it. I mean, it takes forever to walk around that bitch.
Yeah, I remember back in college when we were flying back from Vegas.
You could see it?
That's the only time I've seen it from the air.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, that's fucking big.
It is.
It's fucking nutty. Especially to see it from the air. Well, it's a whole different thing. And I've only been outside in the dark, like where the gate is.
Yeah, but look at all them people.
Yeah, I remember seeing that on TV. Like
in.
that was another staple of television growing up for me. Because every Memorial Day, my cousins,
yeah,
they had a big property, so they'd have a cookout and shit, and volleyball, and the race was always on, and we could camp out there sometimes when it was warm out, and had the big pond so we could fish. So it was a big Memorial Day camping thing out there.
Oh, my bad. I had that backwards.
What?
No race day general admission tickets will be sold.
Oh.
It's scheduled for 12:45 on May the 30th. Last year, it was moved from May 24th to August 23rd.
That reminds me. So, it was maybe a year or two before I met you.
Yeah.
I was at Walmart, and it was about race time, about a month before.
Uh-huh.
And they were selling the cases of the 16-ounce Miller Lights. And I think I've told you the story. And it had a code you could text to win Indy 500 tickets.
Oh, yeah, you won.
So I text it, and the next thing I know, hey, congratulations, you won 2 tickets to the 500. I'm like, holy shit, I won it. And I don't know what possessed me to do it again. I think I bought another case, and it had the same code. So I texted again, and I won again. I'm like, what the fuck? I think I won 8 to 10 tickets by texting that code. And I got them all. I ended up giving all of them away except for 2. I kept 2 in my safe just to have them. I was like, holy shit, that was like the easiest fucking tickets.
You should have used them.
Well, I wasn't racing.
I ground you.
But I gave them to some people at work. Because I think my canine supervisor, I gave him some. because he ended up going with those tickets, but it didn't get you in the, like, I don't think it got him in the track. It was like a general admission. It got him in the area.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't get him in the grandstands.
Got him in the area.
Yeah.
But it was still pretty cool that I could win that many fucking tickets, and I'm like, holy shit, I kept doing it, so I got all these fucking tickets in the mail.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't do that anymore after that year. Like, I don't know if that was a glitch in their system or what, because I thought it was cool as shit. Like, oh my god, I won Indy 500 tickets. And again. And again. And again. And again.
Eef.
I'm like, holy shit. Then finally, like, the last time I tried it, it didn't work anymore. I was like, that's okay. I got all these tickets that I'm never going to use. It was a goddamn mess. Yeah, that was always a big thing for my family. Even though I wasn't the race fan, I think my mom became a NASCAR fan later. Mm-hmm. In life, I still don't give a fuck about NASCAR. You do, but now I'm back with a avid race fan in you. So we do get to watch some races from time to time, and we've been to some races from time to time.
Yeah, my kids are begging to go back to Anderson.
Yeah, that's a pretty fun day.
So I'm going to see what special races they have. And
yeah, because we gotta get, wasn't it the figure 8? Yeah, it was a figure 8 with the school buses and the trailers and all kinds of, that was pretty cool.
I'd like to take him to dirt bike races are cool, and so are monster trucks.
Motocross?
Yes.
I love some motocross. I've only got to watch it on TV. But I, as a kid, I used to. That's probably one of the only racings like I would stop on ESPN and watch the fucking motocross.
Oh yeah, I could watch them all day.
I'm like, holy shit, that's fucking.
Actually, one of the girls I went to school with, and I'm still friends with her on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Her boyfriend or fiance won races, and they get up every Saturday morning at like 3:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm. One of the coolest things I had seen when I worked at Weaver Popcorn up in Van Buren.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd take 69 to get up there, and that's not there anymore. But on the way there, between Muncie and Van Buren, someone had made their own motocross track with the jumps and shit. So you'd be driving on the way home, they'd be out there, you know, racing. Like, holy shit! And it was just in a field, like it was surrounded by cornfields, but they had a little area where this had a little nice little racetrack. Like, that's cool as shit. They made their own motocross track. Then it's gone now because I remember when we went to see Second Chance.
Yeah.
And we're driving up there, and I was like, hey, there used to be a motocross track up here. But it's gone now. I think I don't know if people moved or whatnot, but that was fucking cool. So, how was your day, Mrs. McStud?
It's okay.
Mm-hmm. You know how my day was? Well, here's a fucked up thing. This is what happened last night.
Did you oversleep this morning?
Here's what happened. Mrs. McStud wanted me to lay with her last night. And then she's like, you know what? I really need to get up for work, and I know it's not going to work. We didn't get to sleep. It was about 3. When you got to sleep.
Between 2 and 3.
I didn't sleep well yesterday. I was like, yeah, I'll stay up. So, about 5:30, I'm playing my game. And I'm dozing off during my game. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. So, I go out to the couch, and I'm chilly. So I come in here and look for that fuzzy dolphin blanket. So I was like, all right, I'm going to sit up on the couch. Sit up with the blanket on me, set my alarms, and you got your alarms going. And it was about 5:40 at this time. I was like, I should be able to hear between both of our alarms that going on, because I just couldn't do it. Like, I
figured you were going to take a nap anyways, because you had to be up some of the day today. Or I thought that's what we had discussed anyways.
It was hard, but I was working on helping the kids with some schoolwork shit that they didn't know how to do. And I was like, I just can't do it. So I went out there, and I had my alarm set on my phone, and your alarms are set. I was like, between those two, we'll wake up. And the next thing I know, I get up, and I look at my clock. I'm like, fuck! It's 7:40. And that's why you woke up late today.
I was 10 minutes late to work, but I stayed 20 minutes over, and I didn't get a lunch break.
That's not bad, being 10 minutes late to work, waking up at 7:40 though. Like this
is true.
That's a quickness. I did get the coffee pot and shit ready and everything last night, but I
get anything ready today, so if you do not feel like doing it, then I will need to go to Starbucks.
Okay, unless they're not open.
Well, then I told my supervisor, if they're not open, I'm going to Speedway. Like, I gotta have something.
Yeah. So, I didn't sleep good yesterday, and then today I feel pretty good, because I slept for those like 2 hours, And then I had to go take our roommate to the doctor. And
it was just supposed to be a scan.
So we get there, and he has a CT scan. And I thought it didn't have contrast. They highlighted it because she's like, "Is it for contrast?" I'm like, "Yeah, because it's highlighted." So she looked at it. She's like, "Actually, no, it's not." And they gave us the registration time at 1:10, but his thing wasn't until 1:40. So I'm like, "What the fuck is this shit?" So I got there early enough, thinking we go through registration because it's the appointments at 1:10 because they schedule these.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
They schedule them according to COVID.
Yes.
That way they don't have people staggered and waiting. And I'm like, well, this is a fucking mess. That's why I text you. I was like, his scan's not till 1:40. And we were early, just a few minutes early for that.
His paper said 1:10.
1:10, yes. And then it turned out there was no contrast. So we were sitting out there, and there's an old couple waiting. There's like multiple waiting rooms out there in radiology. So, and he gets called back real quick. I'm like, hey, cool. But I figured it'd take a while because I got to get him prepped with the IV.
It's supposed to be an hour, yeah.
And stuff like that. So I was just sitting there. And the next thing I know, he comes out with the nurse. And she's like, we're all done. I'm like, holy shit, okay. She's like, so you got another doctor's appointment today? I was like, no, just this. She's like, well, the computer said you had an appointment with your pulmonologist upstairs. I'm like, I don't know anything about that. I know we have this. She's like, well, she's like, I would just run up there just in case. That's when I text you. Because I didn't know what the fuck was going on. So his other appointment wasn't until 2:15. And it was probably 1:40-ish by the time he got done. Roughly, because he was done pretty quick. I was like, okay. So we walked up there, and she was trying to call. But we made it up there before you got all that settled. And like, sure enough, he had a fucking doctor's appointment at 2:15 that no one told us about. And the only reason we knew was because of that nurse.
Yeah, and I fucking freaked out on him, too. Because what happens is they still bill insurance.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care really per se right now, just because he's clearly has met every bit of his deductible.
Yes.
But it's still annoying as piss that, you know, nobody knew anything about this bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, here's another story. I can get it. I gave you bits and pieces of the doctor's visit. So we find out he has his doctor appointment, and she's trying to call to get him in as soon as possible because we didn't plan on being there that long. So this was a whole other thing. I was like, we thought we, there, scan, back home.
Water and everything. Just left her car riding back home.
Well, I actually took 2 bottles.
Well, I know, but that's what I didn't tell them that.
Yeah. But so it took a lot longer than expected.
Did you have an extra trach with you?
No, not for this.
You always have to have that.
Not for this.
Anytime he leaves the house, he has to have an extra trach on hand at all times.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought that was just for the ENT.
Always.
Always? Okay.
Just in case it falls out.
Okay,
You gotta have something to put that.
I'm still learning.
I know. No, I meant to tell you that earlier. Oh. And I forgot, because I figured you didn't.
I knew I had to take that for Friday.
Yes.
For the ENT.
And I will get the correct one out for you. But go ahead.
Yeah, so we get there, and they put us in a different room that we haven't been in before. And we're just sitting there waiting. I'm actually, like, he's chilling, and I fell asleep with my arm, because I was tired as shit. Because my sleeping was all fucked up.
Yeah.
And then she didn't come in until about 2:35, 2:40. Really, and the appointment was at 2:15. She's like, oh, they didn't tell me you were in this room. Another fun experience with IU Health with no communication. And the thing is, she's like, well, I want to get you another CT scan. And I was like, hold up. Actually, we were just here. That's why we're here today, for a CT scan, because we just had it done. And we didn't know about your appointment until the nurse told us. And she's like, oh. So she didn't know about the CT scan, and we didn't know about her appointment, which is a whole fucking mess in itself.
Right.
But I guess after this ENT visit, we're supposed to be able to change that on our own. Like, it's not going to be a permanent thing where they change it for us.
Yeah, it is.
She said no. Typically.
Well, I'm not doing it.
Oh. She said no, typically, because she thought he was comfortable changing it on his own.
Oh, no.
And I was like, they've been having us do that. She's like, well, it's normal the first few times to get it done there, but then typically you change it on home.
No, we're not.
Oh. So there was that whole mess. I was like, okay, because I only knew we had 2 doctor's appointments this week. Today and Friday. Not 2 today. 1 Friday. But I was like, oh, well, this is a goddamn mess. And he's ready to go. He really was. He just wanted to come back home.
I had to confirm his Friday appointment.
Mm-hmm.
That I had to text just now.
Just now?
I forgot.
Oh.
To confirm his appointment, and all you have to do is text yes, and it confirms it.
Oh.
His one Friday, though, on a side note, it's at 10:50, so it's early.
Yeah. Because I think she was wanting to, talk to him during that visit. Because she asked what time it was, or around 10ish or something. I couldn't remember if it was 10 or 10:30.
Talk to the doctor?
Yeah, I think she wanted to talk to him during the visit.
Oh.
But she's like, I think I'm going to be at Eskenazi that day. So she's going to try to get a hold of him for some other shit. But yeah, it was a typical...
It's at 10:50.
It's a typical IU health mess. She's a really good doctor, don't get me wrong. She is an amazing doctor, and she's an amazing person. We actually have her phone number personally.
Yeah.
Personal phone number to call her when needed. So it's not her fault, it's just everyone else in
it's
fucking...
the office's fault. And she's been trying to get his, steroid decrease since his last appointment a month ago.
Oh yeah, over a month. And we finally just got his increase for his immune system suppressant pill
Yesterday,
this week.
Yeah.
This week, and that was supposed to be a month ago. So I was explaining that, I was like, this is supposed to be a month ago. We literally just got...
And that's because I called
this week.
the office directly.
Yeah. And I was like,
like, he's running out. Like, I need to have a new prescription.
Yeah. That was a whole mess. Alright, we're at 26 minutes.
And he's got 2 more prescriptions at the pharmacy.
Oh, fuck, that's where I forgot to go. He was ready to go home. I was just trying to get him home because he needed cigarettes and
it's okay.
beer. And
I can't imagine what he needs right now with the abbreviations they send in a text.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But on a side note, I wanted to switch gears a little bit this video, but we've been having a pretty good discussion about all kinds of crazy shit this video. So I haven't got a chance to. But I wanted to ask Mrs. McStud, what is the dumbest thing you ever done as a kid or a teenager that you never told your parents? I think we all have one of these stories. And I was like thinking about what mine could be, but I was like, you know what, I want to bring in a video. I want to ask what Mrs. McStud's is, because I don't even know if I know it. Really.
I don't know if I know one. But my parents still don't know.
Or something you didn't initially tell your parents for maybe a few years or something. Maybe they know now. But back in the day, it was one of those secrets you kept because, we are in teenage years. Mm-hmm. Where we do some shit, like we're saying we're going to go do this, but we do other stuff instead.
I did a lot of fucking.
Other than fucking.
Oh.
Something dumb where you could have gotten in trouble or...
Well, I mean, I could have. Because it's in public places.
Other than fucking.
Okay. That's pretty much it, though.
Other than fucking. She's like, well, I did a lot of fucking. Okay, I get that. And I understand that because you're a sexual being. Is there anything you done dumb that maybe you shouldn't have done, or you look back and like, damn, I'm surprised I'm not in jail for that, or I'm not hurt permanently from that, or something crazy, I
don't think so.
Really?
I pretty much worked, fucked, and schoolwork.
Worked, fucked, and schoolwork. Jesus Christ. You lived an exciting life.
I really didn't.
I
was so hard on myself at school, I had time for nothing.
Well, I'll tell you the dumbest thing I ever done.
Oh, Lord.
When I was in high school. I'm trying to think, was I 16 or 17? I'm trying to think if this was before or after I wrecked my first car. Anyway, I was underage. So, there was supposed to be this party. It was about 35 to 40 minutes away. And it's off a highway. It's like an addition off the highway, like a country addition. Not like a housing addition, just a little area of homes.
Yeah.
Like a neighborhood, but it's not like a common, like all the houses are different, like you would see down the streets or whatnot. So, I told my mom I was going to stay with my friend, which was right in town. And so that night, there was supposed to be a party there. So, I think I took 3 people in my car, and a bunch of other people came in other cars. Mm-hmm. So, we get there, and, I'm underage. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll have a beer. because I wasn't driving. It was my car, but I wasn't driving. So I'm like 3 beers in, and the dude that has the house, his ex's mother called the sheriff, said there was underage drinking going on. And we're like, oh shit. So we look outside the front porch, and there are cop cars surrounding the house. I'm like, oh fuck. So now what do we do? Since my other friends weren't drinking, it was just me. So I went out the back door, and I'm hiding in this alley. With my friends, we're like, we'll just go to the car, we're not drinking. So I was like, okay. So I waited for them for a while, and they never came back. And then I saw some other people at the party that did the same thing I did. So I ended up with like a group of 4 people, and we don't know where to go. We don't know what the fuck's happening at the house. Turns out my friends all get breathalyzed and shit, and they tried to come and find me later, but we were gone because it took so long. So we're roaming around this fucking neighborhood, which is just fucking crazy. Not knowing where the fuck we're at.
This is the one where you run through the cornfield.
Not the cornfield.
Oh.
So we get to the back of this little neighborhood area, and there's an old train track area, but it's all the tracks are gone, so it's just like grass, and the trees are separated. So we start walking down there. I don't know what the fuck we were thinking. We're like, let's take a right and go down here and see where it takes us. Okay, so we get so far down, and then some lights come on behind us. Car lights. We're like, oh fuck. So my dumbass, instead of following everyone else, I just cut straight through the woods. And I'm literally running blind with my hands out in front of me. Like I could have like face planted into a tree at any point. Thank God.
Were you drunk after 3 beers?
No, I was not drunk. But I had enough in me that it would register to a breathalyzer,
Right.
so I was scared as a kid. Dumb as shit. So I'm fucking running through all this shit, and the fucking trees are scratching me the fuck up. And all kinds of crazy shit. And I finally come out into a backyard. And I see the other guys like, why the fuck did you run through there? I was like, because I didn't know there was an opening. I just fucking ran. I was scared. And then there's a dog barking. So we end up, long story short, we end up walking around this town. I'm scratched up like a motherfucker all over my arms. And we end up towards the front of this the opening of the addition. And it's been like 2 hours. And we're just kind of waiting, talking to some people. They knew some other people there. So we're just sitting there talking to them. And I'm watching outside, waiting like I don't know when I can go back. And here comes my buddies with my car. About to leave. Because they think I'm already gone. Which I didn't realize. So I'm like, shit, that's my car. So I start running like, hey! Hey! And they hear me, thank God, or else I would have been stuck there without a vehicle, and they would have took my car all the way back to town. So I'm like, shit, so I get in the car, I'm sweaty, my fucking scratches are burning from fucking salt in my sweat. So I get back home, I didn't spend the night, obviously. I was like, what happened? I was like, well, my buddy's dogs chased me through some thorn bushes. And I just decided I didn't want to stay no more. That night I could have got hit with some minor consumption. Yeah. And I could have hurt myself running through the woods blind. I literally closed my eyes because I didn't want no tree branch or shit the whole night. Like it was dark anyway, I couldn't see, so I just closed my eyes and fucking ran. Hands out, I could have tripped over some fucking branches, fucking busted my head open on a log. I could have been like punctured with a fucking.
That's ridiculous.
It was ridiculous, but I made it through alive. Just some scratches. And that's probably one of the dumbest things I've ever done.
I'm not sure.
At that age.
The dumbest things I ever did. Except my ditzy shit. Like.
Yeah.
You know, me having to call dad because VCR wouldn't work. And
oh, God.
it just wasn't plugged in. And, you know.
It wasn't plugged in.
It wasn't plugged in.
Oh, boy.
Or it wasn't on. It was something stupid.
You're the worst tech support
I definitely
customer
am.
ever. And I always have to tell her, I was like, she asked me questions about, she's like, babe, I'm not trying to be rude or insult your intelligence, but is it plugged in? And I believe the first time I ever asked that, it actually was not plugged in. It's like, I'm not saying you're dumb, I'm not trying to insult your intelligence. This is the first thing you learn when doing tech support, because I went to school for this a little bit, is you always got to check to make sure there's power to it. Is it plugged in from the back of the machine and into the wall? Because some people get their device and they just set it up there, they don't plug it in, they're like, well, it's not turning on.
That wasn't the case with mine, though. Like, it was already there or whatever.
Mm-hmm. So I asked her that, and she's like, OMG. It wasn't plugged in. I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be rude. That's the first question I have to ask.
He's always nervous that I think he's being rude. But when he said that, I'm like, oh, I probably should have checked that.
Yeah, because that's the first thing. Because what I learned is so many tech support stories, people, they buy a computer, they put it all together, and they don't plug it into the wall. Like, my computer's not coming
That's
on.
a problem.
Or my printer's not coming on.
Yeah.
Or, you know, my VCR's not coming on because they don't plug it in. They get it all set up to put the wires in, they don't plug it into the wall. And they're like, or my DVD player's not working. Is it plugged in?
That's me.
Or they take it back to the store, it's not working, and they plug it in at the store. It's like, well, did you plug it in? Well, yeah, I swear I plugged it in. Well, maybe your plug-in's wrong because this is a good device. They get back home, like, they plug it in and it works. They go, maybe I didn't plug it in. Yeah. You all done with yours?
Got to be.
Ah, all right.
Tired.
Mm-hmm. I bet.
I got a good fat cheeseburger to eat and go to bed.
And you got me a double. Fuck me. Thank you, though.
Sorry about the ketchup.
No, it's fine.
The roommate's like, you want me to wake him up to see what he wants? I'm like, no, I got this. So I was like, double decker cheeseburger. And I got you French fries, actually, this time instead of chips.
Mm-hmm.
Only mustard.
When you said the diner, I was either like, you got me a cheeseburger or a tenderloin.
I thought about the tenderloin because my fucking tenderloin is fat as hell. But then I was like, man, sometimes he really just likes his fucking... And you struggle there, too, deciding what you want.
Yeah, and their double burgers are really big. So I've gotten it once before, I'm like...
Yeah.
It's a big motherfucker.
It is.
Ugh.
It's heavy.
Anyways, not bad, 36 minutes. It was a nice break from schoolwork. And we had a full 36 minutes of talking about shit.
Yeah.
Like, there was no brain farts. It was just straight through craziness.
That's right.
Yes. Anyways, motherfuckers, I'm McStud.
And this is McStud.
We'll catch you bitches tomorrow for Throat Pounding Thursday. Maybe we can sign Hubie's shirt tonight.
Okay.
Deuces, bitches.